Hey guys, we're here. Kettering Kickoff, or Kettering Kickoff is right around the corner. We'll talk about that, right? Because we're registering. I registered my team, and hopefully your teams are out there registering for it. And we'll get the link, and I'll put it in the show notes so people can get out there and register. It's already pretty popular, right, Clint? I talked to you last week about this.
Yeah, we have a lot of people signed up right now. It actually, the way we have the website set up is as soon as you pay, we're updating what days each team's going to go to. So right now, Saturday looks very popular for most of the teams. There's a couple people that still need to pay, that might filter into the Sunday. So there is spots available. They go pretty quick. So make sure you get out there and register and get your payment in.
And that's the 17th and 18th of September, if I remember it off the top of my head. It's Saturday,
Yep.
Sunday. Yep.
It's a Saturday, Sunday. We're doing two events. Basically, we will have one event of about 40 teams on Saturday. We're going to play, 6 to 7 matches. We'll have eliminations, go through all that, and determine the winner of the day one event. And then on Sunday, we're going to do the same thing again. And the idea behind this is to allow for more teams to get, playing time. And instead of having a 2-day event where only 40 teams get to play, our hope is that we can allow for 80 some teams to be able to participate, on a weekend while school's going on. Bring your students, kind of to the event to see what FIRST is like, to see if you want to recruit them for the, up and coming season and kind of get everything kicked off.
And I took my team last year or last fall. It seems like forever, but last fall, getting ready for the 2022 season. Very enjoyable experience. And I handed to you guys to run 2 events in 2 days and routing people in and out. It was fluid. I have no negative experiences. So anyone who hasn't signed up, make sure they sign up.
Yeah.
Just make sure you can get your teams out there.
Not that it's easy, but we make it happen. Like I said, our goal is just to try to get as many people, the chance to play. It's sometimes can be hard to find time to in a field to go and play at. So we want to try to create those opportunities here.
Yeah. More importantly, the reason I wanted to catch up with you guys, because we're in the summer months, right? We're doing episodes every 2 weeks, but you guys have a bunch of summer camps coming up. So I wanted to make sure that we covered the summer camps because people are out there looking for things to do with robots during the summer other than vacationing or camping or whatever you guys are doing. We want to make sure that got out there. So tell us about the summer camps at Kettering.
Well, we got all sorts of kinds of summer camps at Kettering, from, robotic summer camps to, other summer camps that some of the other departments and stuff are running. And we try to integrate them. I mean, everybody needs to go to kettering.edu/pre-college and look at all the summer camps and stuff we're doing, from engineering and science to computer. I'm just going through the little brochure right now, to computer engineering summer camps. And then we even have an esports summer camp for students 9th through 12th grade, which should, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. If it, fills up, and that to me is an interesting one.
Might be more competitive than an FRC season, John, because esports is a big thing. I know a previous student of mine was on the esports team for Kettering.
Yeah, it's amazing now, right? Yeah. And then, we have, from FLL summer camps to FTC summer camps to FRC summer camps. In fact, we have a couple brand new summer camps that Clinton's doing that he can talk about. I think they're going to be wildly popular.
Yeah, one of the new ones we're trying to do is we actually have a drive team summer camp is the kind of idea behind it. The idea is just a 1-day event. I think it's like 9 to 4 or something like that. And we're gonna get students driving kit apart chassis on the field that we have here at Kettering. Go through some, practice drills of driving around the robot. So maybe you've never driven before. You can kind of get that experience of seeing what it feels like to drive a robot and kind of maneuver on a field. It's a lot different when you're behind the glass and you're driving out further away from you. And we'll go over some tips and tricks of things to do when you're, in the driver position, and, even kind of collaborating a little bit with operators and your drive coach, and how to try to pay attention to those types of things and just have a good time of driving around and kind of getting a feel of it. And we might have some time trials or something like that, where we try to see who's the fastest at going through some obstacle courses.
It's amazing as a head coach and Clinton, your head coach, and your drive coach. I run drive coach too. Anytime you can get more experience or just some experience to a person that can either say some kids can't or some students can take the pressure and some students can't take the pressure. It's good to know ahead of time, especially if you got a couple kids that are just signing up for your team. Maybe this is a good course for them to take a good summer camp for them to get some experience with.
And we get to utilize the full field here at Kettering right now. We actually have the rapid react field set up with the hub and the trusses and everything like that. So we can actually have the students kind of drive in the different positions, in driver stations 1, 2, and 3 to kind of see what that perspective looks like, to see what, there's going to be an obstacle, the hub in the center that you have to work around. So kind of like, how do you deal with that? And how do you try to utilize different things in the environment? It isn't always just about looking at the robot. You can maybe see your robot or a game piece in the reflection of the diamond plate on the other side of the field or something. So trying to go through those kind of things that you wouldn't really see until you're out there. And not to say that it's going to be too late, but sometimes you don't realize it until match 6 of your event that you go to. So
yeah, field awareness is what I call it. Field awareness. So what else? Drive teams. I know that I've been on the website because I'm looking for ones for my students too. I know you guys have an FRC build, and there's 2 different levels, right? There's a 1 and a 2. Can you guys elaborate a little bit on those?
Yeah. So what we're doing with the build 1 is going to be, we're going to give you a chassis. It's going to be a kit apart chassis, and we're going to have you build kind of an intake mechanism for some kind of game piece. It might be a previous year's game piece or something like that. That we try to utilize, and we're going to try to go through the process of developing an intake system with your robot. Almost every single year in FRC, you have to develop an intake system on your robot, and what is the kind of methods to go through, and how to have strategy dictate your design, or the game piece kind of help dictate your design instead of kind of looking at it from, well, this is the first thing that came to my mind, I'm just going to put that on and hopefully it'll work, or you'll have to figure it out later. So it's really going to be designed around the intake system, and how to try to focus on that one element, and then we're going to have a game at the end where it's kind of going to be a pick up and deliver type thing, where you don't really need additional systems. You can kind of use that intake system as kind of the whole robot that you kind of play with. So more of a simplified game. Then the advanced or above chassis intakes, above chassis build. The idea behind that one is if you go to the intake build camp, you can utilize that same robot, same intake system, and then there would be a second stage to it. Think of like, you intake a ball and then you offload it to a shooter, or a pick and place elevator or something of the kind, and you would kind of incorporate that. If you go to the second camp and you didn't go to the first one, we're going to try to have some basic intakes that are already pre-designed and on those robots. So if you didn't go to both of them, you don't need to, but you kind of maybe get this more immersive experience by being able to go to both of those camps.
Right, and that gets kids to understand modular design, which are most high-powered teams or teams that have long lengths in their build process, mature process build processes. That's how they design. You do that with your team, I know. So
yeah, and like I said, even with the intake and the above chassis is trying to show kind of systems that you can utilize on your own team when you go back. A good example might be the utilization of like clicos, which are temporary rivets that you can use to set and adjust your system quickly so that you can figure out those critical dimensions that matter for interacting with that game piece. And so, kind of utilizing those skills, you might be able to go back to your team and say, hey, we got to see this, use at Kettering where we were designing stuff and implementing it. And we really got to this solution a lot quicker than just eyeballing it or kind of using something that you might just have off the shelf.
I know one of the amazing ones, and I recommended it to one of my students, was the Auton camp that you guys have. Can you guys tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, you want me to go to that, John?
Doesn't matter. Go ahead if you want.
Yeah, so on that one, we utilize a couple of different robots that we have at the center. And then we kind of have like, a list, if you will, of criteria for each of those robots. And the idea is that you get points for making and writing an autonomous for each one of those robots. And so some of them might be as simple as moving forward or moving across a line, or shooting a game piece into a goal. And so the idea is that you kind of get the experience of doing, working on a couple different platforms or a couple different robots, and writing those autonomous routines to try to utilize that. At first, maybe you start with Dead Reckoning and just kind of going for a set amount of time. And then later on, you'll start doing stuff that is more, sensor based or distance based and accuracy based. Maybe it's, we put a pin out there and get as close to it without touching it or something like that. So you're trying to be more accurate than just, driving as fast as possible and running over things. But the idea is that you get a lot of different robots that you get to play with that you don't have to worry about being built because they're kind of already built, and you can utilize them and kind of drive them around during the autonomous mode.
And like Clinton said, right, you can look at the different ones, but when you look at different drivetrains, right, if you get to practice, coding on different drivetrains, and you go back and you don't know what you're going to choose this year, and you choose something maybe you haven't used in the year before, now at least you have a little bit of ideas of what you want to do and how you want to do it within that drivetrain and stuff like that, right? So get to first base, get to second base, get to third base, get home, and then you can, basically go in a diamond. So whatever.
How to traverse levels, which might be a game aspect coming up.
You
So
think so? They'll never.
I think so.
That.
Non-swerve. It's going to be a non-swerve game. No, I'm just kidding. We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Save the carpet.
Any game can be a swerve game. It's just depending on how you adapt to it.
It's
how
true.
Big the swerve wheel is.
I like John Save the Carpet because I'm not naming names, but there's a certain team 7056 that burnt 4 consecutive holes at the same time at Kelvin this past season. I have a picture of it. It's one of our accomplishments. I'm not saying it should be
accomplishments.
I'm not saying it should be an accomplishment for everything, but for every team out there, because I got yelled at. But at least we did it well.
What do you think this is? Like esports where you're trying to unlock achievements?
Isn't that life? That's life, Clinton. That's life. I got to go plant 2 trees in the back of my yard. I'm going to gamify it so I feel better when I get it done. So, that's what they do with everything in the stock market. I'm not naming an app, but they gamify it. So yeah, it's all gamified. I love it. So are there any other big classes or camps that people can sign up for that we haven't already tacked on?
John, do you want to talk about the leadership
Another
one?
interesting one we're doing for the first time is the Intro to Programming 1.
Okay.
To that in a second. But the Intro to Programming 1 uses that ROMI that every FRC team in the state should have got.
Yep.
And it really brings the ability to use the interfaces and everything from what you use on your FRC bot, to a little simpler level and stuff like that. And I think that that could be a great stepping stone to introduction of programming and stuff like that. And like Clinton said, the other one we have that is unique, probably from anywhere you go, is a leadership camp. And the leadership camp, it was designed, from a lot of experience and, master's degree level work and everything from MBA courses. And it was just put together, thought out, worked out, with everything from, teaching stuff and talking to interaction to games we do that kind of reinforce the behaviors that you really want to see in leadership. So it's unique, and it's the only one that I've really seen that works at this level, and I really I enjoy being part of it.
I've actually interviewed someone in the past that went to your camp, and it was a young lady, and she had nothing but great things to say about it. I can't remember when it was. We're 177 episodes in, so sometimes they all blur together. But it's highly recommended, and I think you guys teach skills that they can learn not just for an FRC team, but to utilize within their scholastic goals. Post.
When you think about what we do, right, that's 1st and stuff, right? It is more than, again, God, I hate to say it this way, more than the robot, right? But it is about teaching skills, because this is just a stepping stone to the next level of college and stuff, to the next version of life they're going to have. Shed the skin from high school and go to your next skin and learn and stuff. And all these skills, whether it's leadership, whether it's technical, whether it's problem solving, whatever it is what we're trying to teach. And these summer camps help enable a lot of that stuff. And then the hands-on things and talking to judges really solidify all that.
I love the name drop of it's more than just about robots. That was brilliant that you mentioned the movie in your response. That was awesome, John. I don't know if you purposely did that, but it's good. Good stuff.
I won't answer that question.
Okay.
He'll teach you how to make those same kind of jokes in his leadership meetings or camps.
Oh, how to make dad jokes 101 is part of the leadership curriculum.
Yeah.
Got it. Sounds amazing. I can't wait to see the dad jokes.
Okay, another bad joke. This is a bad joke. Okay. Have you heard the latest on the Apple car?
No.
No? It may not have windows.
Okay, it's all right. That's a pretty good one. I think Clinton's already heard that one, so he can't laugh at that. That's a pretty good one though. If there ever will be, but
I thought it was kind of cute.
Yeah.
One of those dad joke kind of things,
I gotcha. Joel Hurd's left, so you're gonna fill in nicely.
Yeah. Big shoes to fill.
I can't fill those shoes. Can't fill those shoes.
All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time, but I just wanted to make sure we got on board. Everyone knows we're going to put this out very soon, knows that about all the camps so they can sign up. The majority of them are in July and August, so you still have some time.
Yep.
We just started June, so I'm sure you're going to fill up. So make sure you guys get out there. And then just to make sure we do full circle, sign up for Kettering Kickoff. It's an amazing event. Not just last year. I mean, I've been into it for years. And it's an amazing event to jumpstart your FRC season early. Right.
Yeah. And when Bob Nichols started this event a long time ago, it was originally created to give people a chance to showcase their old robot right after the new school season started. And so that you could invite your, classmates out or potential teammates out to the event, see what it's like. And then decide if you want to join robotics or do robotics, because you got to kind of see a live kind of example of it. A lot of times in the sport, we kind of say like, we can tell you about it all as much as, till we're blue in the face, but until you experience it, you really don't understand what robotics is like. And the funniest part about it is the first time ever that I saw a robotics event was at Kettering Kickoff back in 2000. That was the first time at Kettering. I was in the rec center and saw FIRST Robotics for the first time when I was a senior in high school. So like it can make a difference of where people go and how people get involved. So that's why we carry on the tradition to always do it in September. You kind of almost guarantee we're going to have it in September every year because of that same reasoning.
And not only that, but Clint, my first experience with Kettering Kickoff was with your team when my daughter joined your team. That was my very first, and I call it getting bit by the bug. And I got bit by the bug that day, and so did she.
Yeah.
So it's a real thing. It's a good bug. It's not a bad. You're not going to get malaria. It's a good bug.
That's weird. All three of us got bit by the bug at a Kettering Kickoff.
Yes.
It just shows how important it is. Like I said, for the sport as a whole. And you can even get sponsorships. Invite your potential sponsors who are local, have them come out, see the event, see the students in the stands, cheering for their teams and all the excitement and going through the pits and talking to other robotics teams. There's so many opportunities to kind of leverage it for your team.
Yep. School administrators too. Great opportunity for them because they really don't understand. You can speak robotics all day long, but until they see all those kids in those stands, then they get it. Then they get it.
Well, you hope they get it.
No, they get it. Well, if I'm involved, they're going to get it because, I'm an implementer. That's what I do. But thanks again, guys, for giving us your time. I will make sure to get all the proper links in the show notes so people can. But John, you want to say one more time the master URL that you stated earlier in our conversation?
Kettering.edu/pre-college is where you want to go to look at all the pre-college summer camps and all the fun you can have and things you can learn over the summer. So
And
come and join us.
It would be a travesty of justice if I didn't once again say, Clinton, I want to meet you. I'm going to drive against you on the field.
Yeah, at some time we might have to do it in the center because as much as we love to do those mentor matches, just the way we scheduled it, with trying to get more teams there, it makes it harder to do that. But we'll figure out a time and place to have a drive.
We'll do it.
Throwdown, man.
John Urin, we're calling you out too, and Corey Walters, we're calling you out too. So just have fun. We should have a mentors only drive off.
Yeah.
Separate event.
We do.
Before.
We'll play overdrive and see how many laps you can do in 2 minutes, and
Okay.
whoever has the most number of matches. But you have to bring your own robot, right?
Yeah.
I have one thing to say. Save the carpet.
Yeah, save the carpet.
It's a new T-shirt we're gonna do for next season. Save the carpet.
I'll bring our sidekick robot from 2021, the off-season events. I'll bring that little guy.
I'll bring the one I just burnt 4 holes in. I
Okay.
can't promise you, John.
Oh,
So,
you guys are so thoughtful.
all right, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks and have a great day.
You too.
Later.